Hello. How are you guys all today? I'm just saying hello. I don't know why I just unplugged that iron. I need it. Don't need my. Hey, Sylvia. How are you today? I see you out there. Ah, I'm still fighting off the flare, but I'll be here. I took a really hot shower. Form of flattery. Well, I watched Tiffany last night and she made one of these bucket hats. Hi, Mary Jane. How are you today? And so I'm not doing a tutorial, but I thought I would make one for myself. And I picked out the flunkiest fabric that I had, which I thought was kind of cute. And I'm putting interfacing on the outer fabric of mine. I guess it's either or, since these bucket hats are reversible. So Mary Jane, what's going on with you? Sylvia, you just accomplished so much. I don't know how you do it. Been working on her mini quilt, you know, that she's going to finish to go with her padded jacket and her FPPs. And I saw your beer bottle finally. I guess I watched it once, but I must have been half asleep. So I watched it again last night. I was like, no, that is too cool. And you could turn that into a champagne bottle or a soda bottle.
LFC is window path, right? They need to have the abnormal flag setting turned on. I believe there's people that do that.
Kim's got painters today. Been to the dentist. Ugh. I feel for you, Mary Jane. I'm making the biggest size, Sylvia. And then if it's too big, I'll put a string on it. But especially for me, if I go outside, I have to have a hat on. Sassalette requested a pattern for a beer bottle. Sassalette is full of mischief. She's always up to something. Always up to something. Did I do this right? It doesn't look right. I don't think I cut that side out right. Okay, so I need to cut one more. It's okay, the green won't go to waste. It will get used, it did. And a beer stein, a beer glass. Did she ask for a glass or a stein? I guess they are actually different things, aren't they? Oh, sorry. So that is the side or the brim? I don't remember. So you've been to the dentist, Marie. I'm never fond of going to the dentist myself. The last time I went, they tried to sell me some kind of crazy. Oh, it didn't have a handle, so it's a glass. Okay, that makes sense. The last time I went, they tried to sell me some kind of crazy cleaning thing that was like going to take 4 visits and 4 different times of numbing my mouth. And I was like, I don't like you that much. My dentist is a great guy, but that was just no, thank you. Come out of there, pen. And I've got, I put aside the project I was going to work on today because I wanted to do this hat. I have a book that I got that has some applique stuff in it. And Sassy Steph is doing a manger scene, I guess has done, is actually the proper terms because she's got it done. But that manger scene is just gorgeous, but it's all applique. And I wanted to do a similar one, but of course the pattern is out of print and not for. Since last December. They kept wanting to put a crown on one of mine. And I'm just like, no, why bother putting the price of a car into my mouth? Because that's what it would be for me, is the price of a car, 3 or 4 grand. I'd rather have the tooth pulled myself. Just not on my gender. For the manger one, Sylvia, I almost feel guilty about that because it's a big one. It's the one that Stephanie did. And I would be more than willing to buy it from the lady. Halo Inspirations was going to see about maybe buying the copyright from it, because there's quite a few of us who'd like to make it, but I don't know what the copyright would cost her. But if she doesn't, I will send it to you, and I will happily pay you to do that for me, Sylvia. I know you would do it for me because you're my friend, but this is your business. Yeah, it's out of stock. It's not being printed anymore. Stephanie actually talked to the lady who originally created the pattern. But I won't expect you to do that work for free, because it will be a lot of work. Yeah, this pattern was free too. Tracy, it's the one that Tiffany did last night. I actually already had it. Sylvia, this is, I'm trying to see, and I can't because I don't have the camera up here. This is the pattern that Stephanie's doing. She just did that center part. But when I saw that it had 3 pieces, I was like, oh, that's really pretty. And I would like to make it, but that's a lot of work. Yeah, this one is from Apple Green Cottage, Tracy. And I already had the pattern. I went to look it up. That's fine. That's fine, Sylvia. Like I said, they're still trying to get everything worked out as far as what and where and when. And whenever you get it here, we'll be fine. Even if you don't. I've made quite a few bucket hats before, and I put up a joke video a while back. I made a rope bowl, and I used that rope bowl as a bucket hat. Hey, Kim. Ah, well, I've made a couple of these before. One of my husband's friends, I had made one for me in some hot pink, and she purloined my hat. I also made a couple of those scarves she tie around her head. I like the hats better. Oh, Stir, I'm going to move you guys over here a little so you can see kind of what I'm doing. Thank you, Stir. And Stir, I have to tell you, thank you for your tip about the arthritis bath mitts. I did finally make a video about it after I used them for a couple of weeks. I really liked them for me. And that video is doing fairly well. Getting 1,800 views. Hello, Miss Kim. Miss Kim, I think, was dealing with painters earlier. Hopefully they made quick work and got out of her way. She's like me, she don't like messing with those peoples. A lot of fundraiser items for your grandson. I would think these little hats might do really well, Sylvia. And Stir, I even thanked you in that video. So if you haven't watched it, please go check it out. Make sure I did it right. And I've gotten, you guys, I just have to say this. I've gotten some really nice comments the last couple of days. One from a lady who told me that she really likes my voice and that my tips are very helpful to her. I have no control over how my voice sounds, except that I don't want to cough on camera. Oh, that makes sense, Kim. Well, they lost their own tools. You didn't lose it for them. A mud knife. Yeah, those bath mitts, Sylvia, are just like so quick and easy. At least the way I made them. I didn't put elastic in them. Oh, thank you, Stir. I appreciate that. And then I'm not going to name names because it wasn't a public comment, but I had a content creator message me and tell me that my chicken salad videos had inspired her to try applique again. And I'm just like totally pleased about that because I hate to see people get frustrated with, you know, any part of sewing and then not be able to find a way to do it. So both of those made my week. I have to tell y'all. She knows who she is. She's my girl. But I wanted to publicly give her a shout out for that because that was just awesome. Yeah, Sylvia, there's all kinds of stuff. It really, really, really made my day, Sylvia. You don't even know. And it even made up for a couple other things that have happened here lately. When I as you guys know, because I posted it yesterday, I'm in a mega flare. And last night I was up and down like 4 times because of my shoulder. I couldn't find a comfortable position to sleep in. Took me till almost 3 o'clock. Yes, Kim. You'd think they would check for that stuff before they went to a customer's house. I need to make that seam a hair wider. I'm just pressing my seams open. More to keep my hands busy than anything else here as far as the hat goes. But anyway, between I think I laid down at 11, I was back up at 12:30. Somebody went through and gave me a dislike on 9 of my videos. And I was just like, bless your heart. I hope somebody gives you some grace who is not happy, in my opinion. Because there's no way they watched 9 videos in an hour and a half. Hey, Tracy. Oh, really, Stir? That's awesome. Thank you. Oh, Sylvia, everything you make is absolutely gorgeous. I haven't seen anything you've made so far that I wouldn't just want to like claim and take home and keep. Seriously. You take little mundane things like a little pin cushion and make it so cute. You're a little owl. But anyway, I'm hoping that, you know, whoever's doing that is getting some, maybe it's giving them some satisfaction, and that's awesome. Am I too dumb to put a hat together? I got to make these right sides to right sides, right? Yeah, that's right. Sylvia, I would gladly come clean your sewing corner for you if that's what you needed me to do. I worked at Domino's for a whole bunch of years, way back in my wild and misspent youth, as you guys probably would call it. What am I doing wrong? This is what I'm doing wrong. Okay, I had to stop and think for a second, guys. Some days, you know, the brain doesn't work along with the hands. But I used to get phone calls all the time from weird people, especially when I was managing the store. And the guys would be like, "Oh, are you delivering the pizza?" And I'd be like, "Nope." I actually had a guy tell me, he says, "You should open a phone sex line." I was like, "No." And I'm sure they would have been disappointed if I had decided to deliver the pizza. But I made good money when I delivered pizzas. I mean, I can't complain. Even when I worked as a driver instead of a manager, I made more money than I did as a manager for sure. Yeah, I finally got it, Tracy. I was like, what am I doing here? It's just like you do any other circle, right? You match up the centers and then you work your way out. And Tracy, were you watching Tori, I guess, yesterday evening? I guess Tori cut herself pretty bad with the rotary cutter. I always try to make sure I keep a really close edge on it when I do that. What I'm doing is I'm putting the top of the hat to the side. Yeah, you do, Tracy. You do. I think some men are just creepy and they tell women stuff like that just to see if they can get them to talk dirty to them. But, you know, we did have one time we had a girl we had to take off the phones because she was 16 and she had that breathy little girl Marilyn Monroe voice. Oh, and she was so much fun to talk to. And her call times were like outrageous because people would call up and ask her a million questions. And She was super patient. She was such a sweet little girl. Yeah, she is usually super careful. I mean, I'm not gleeful that she hurt herself by any means. That would not be me, but I was like, oh, Tori. I wasn't watching the video, thank God, because I hate seeing people get hurt. And Tori is usually really careful. It's another argument in my mind for cutting things off camera. Did she have to get stitches, Tracy? Do you know? In case anybody doesn't know who Tori is, she seems legit. She's an Australian bag maker, and Tracy and I both follow her quite religiously. She makes the Vixen, the Dolly Wampus, she's got quite a few. The Rag-a-Brush, the one that Tracy made and posted in the Facebook group, that's a Tori bag. Victoria Krieger, I think. If I got her name right. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I actually learned how to make shirts from her. That's how I found her. I was looking for directions on how to make a men's, the collar stand on a men's shirt. Oh, she just cleaned it up and bandaged it so it wasn't super bad. Good. But that's how I found Tori. Was I went looking for how to make a collar stand on a shirt, and she had the best tutorial I've ever seen on it. So I'm always looking for, creators who do different things. Krieger, okay. I know her husband's military. Yeah, injured. Well, and I have a thing about knives, Tracy, Craft a Simple Life. I must have died by a knife in a past life or something, because I really have a thing about knives. And I don't ever want to see somebody cut themselves. That's why, oh, crud. That's why I always gift Martelli rotary cutters. Oh, Tracy. She actually got hurt on the line. That's not good. Now, the pattern on this calls for 3/8" seam allowance, but Tiffany used a 1/4 inch and it seemed to work really well. So I'm going to follow Tiffany's lead on this. Like I said, she did an amazing tutorial. I just wanted to sew something to keep my hands busy while I chit-chatted with you guys, so you don't feel like you're sitting here and I'm not paying my rent. That's what it is, right? Yeah, injuries are always a worry. And then someone told me they managed to cut themselves on a Martelli. And I was like, oh my, how did you do that? Because this is the Martelli. I mean, you'd have to work really hard to cut yourself on that. Hey, Colleen, how are you today? You guys been to Colleen's lately? She's put out a couple of new videos and is trying to figure out if she can go live. I'm looking forward to that. We were comparing demographics yesterday. I get a lot of views from Cape Town, South Africa. I have no clue why. Colleen gets a lot of views from Vietnam, and I immediately knew why. Have you guys ever listened to her? Colleen has such a soft, sweet voice online. Well, she does anyway, but she has a really soft, sweet voice whenever she does videos. And I was like, I bet that's why you're getting the Vietnamese views. Hello, Marie. How are you today? think my hat's gonna look more like an amateur than Miss Tiffany's, but I'm okay with that. So this is what I chose for the outside fabric, and that is black, yellow, and red, not brown. See, I got me a fez. Yes, those hats were so cute. I'm good. Why are you embarrassed, Colleen? I already told you that offline. You do have a soft, sweet voice, and it's nice to listen to. Okay. I made my brim wider too. Yeah, I thought they were super cute. Obviously, since I'm making one, right, Marie? I kind of had them on my list of things to make anyway. But I guess I was re-inspired after I saw Tiffany do it last night. And like I said, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I mean, now everyone knows. Everybody knew you had a sweet voice anyway. Colleen, just roll with it. Oh, look, she put herself in already. You go, Colleen. Make sure you give Miss Kim acknowledgement. Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, it's actually a hat instead of a bucket. Instead of a rope bucket. I get you, Tracy. I get you. Ah, that's terrible. Miss Kim last night in Tiffany's chat, I lurked. I didn't say anything because I was kind of not wanting to have to type all that much. Bots came in, and by the time the bot had said its second round of whatever, Kim already had the bot locked, loaded, and out of here, which is why Kim is the undisputed queen of troll hunters. And I'm half looking for, okay, Star. I'm half looking for Lori at Quilting in the Country to come in. I'm hoping. I'm not expecting, but I'm kind of hoping. She could use hugs and prayers. So if y'all are either the lighting candles or the praying type, if you'd do that for Lori, I'd appreciate it. Hubby's on the phone. He's always on the phone. Yes, she is, Marie. She is awesome at it. But Miss Lori has got lots going on, and she could use our prayers. So if you guys would give her your prayers, I would appreciate it. And I'm not even, I don't call it praying, but I'm definitely keeping her in my thoughts. Yep.
No. Let's make sure everything's in the hospital.
Oh, I don't know what's up with Teresa Louise, Marie. You don't have to tell me. I will pray for her. Exactly, Tracy. Everybody already knows that, Colleen. All we have to do is hear you. And guys, this is tons better than I could do yesterday. I couldn't lift my arm up to be able to pick up my coffee cup. Well, actually, it's better than I could do this morning. My husband has been really applying the tincture and stuff. There you go, Tracy. Yeah, I'm a candle lighter more than a prayer. And I have a friend who goes even one step further, and I really like the idea. She always ties a piece of string around a candle whenever she prays for somebody or puts them in her thoughts. And then, so she, by the time the candles burn out, it's got string wrapped all the way around the outside. And I think that's really cool because she says those pieces of string go back, they spark memories for her of people, which is awesome because you can always use another prayer. Now I'm putting my brim on the bottom of the side of my hat. And I just pinned it in. Like I said, this is definitely not a tutorial. This is more of a, I'm sewing this while I chat kind of thing. Tiffany did an amazing tutorial last night teaching her daughter how to do this. So she is at that. But like I said, I really thought, yeah, I need to go ahead and make that bucket hat I've been talking about. I may make more than one. You do sound like you swallowed a Smurf, kind of. Tracy, you have a cute little voice. I think I sound like my mother. And so the voice in my head sounds like my mom too. I don't know if that's related to each other or not. Did somebody put up Lori's also? I'd love to support her to get some views. She could definitely use them. Oh, thank you, Stir. I appreciate that. Just because I don't formally pray doesn't mean that I don't appreciate prayers. So that's very kind of you. Thank you. And normally I just call it prayers anyway. Well, no, I don't sound like her in what I say. I think I sound like her in how I sound, literally. My mom's been gone since 2004. So this year is 18 years, if I've got it right. And always when I hear it, there's something that I need to stop and pay attention to. I don't really think it's my subconscious. I think it's my mom. I'm going around the place where the brim of my hat and the side of my hat meet, just reinforcing that seam, because I want this hat to be washable and wearable and last a while, which is also why I interfaced my hat. All I did was interface the outer fabric though, not the inner. Yeah, mine died in June of 2004. And actually, it's kind of weird because when we bought our house, I had no thoughts of where my mom was buried or any of that stuff. And turns out she's literally buried 5 minutes from where I live. So when we got married in 2017, my sister came down and she was like, all apologetic. Is it too big of a hassle to take me to see mom's blah? Mine. Um, I mean, for quite a while. And so we go driving up, and my sister's like, "It's this close to your house?" And I said, "Yeah, literally 5 minutes." The cemetery she's buried at is actually closer than um, the closest convenience store. Just double checking all my scenes. We all love you, Tracy. So what are you guys all working on today? I know what Kim's working on. She's working on dealing with the painters. Handsome bear hat. All right. Is I back? Okay. I should be back now. I hope. It didn't like my picture. Frank is out of town. Well, that's a good thing. So you can work on Darth Vader all you want. And guys, if you haven't seen her Darth Vader, ladies and gentlemen, that girl is good. I was like, oh, black on black. Yeah. Ho hum, Darth Vader. Aw. Kitty cuddles are always nice. Isn't it cute? And then this is what I'm putting in for lining. Let's see if I can turn it around. I know that Zoom doesn't like it whenever I use when I move too many things in front of the camera at one time. So should I wear the hat until I'm ready to put them together? I think this might be a Lori Holt fabric, Tracy, the hat one. I'm not 100% sure. What I'm doing now is I'm pinning the lining fabric top to the brim. Thank you. I'm not above embarrassing myself for your all's amusement. I mean, seriously. I'll wear it. I don't care. Covers up my crazy hair. I washed it right before I came on. And of course, as my hair always does, it has a mind of its own. So, and I was talking the other day, I went curly after I had surgery last year. And I have no clue why. But I also have no clue how to deal with it. Oh, it fits me way better than the bowl hat did, Stir. That bowl hat was a trip. I really wasn't going to wear the bowl hat. And then when I was recording the little short, I was like, oh, let's see. I thought it was cute. I'm sorry if y'all didn't like it. It is what it is. And notice I'm using actual pens today because my clips are in the other room and I am conserving energy. We'll call it that. I don't want to go in there and get the pens. I've made 4 trips in there. Oh, Sylvia, you see it? I finally finished that this morning. That's the music one. And I did cornerstones on it. I finished the outside border. Everything else was done. But I like how that came together. And as soon as I'm able to, I will be basting that one and trying to get it free motion quilted. I know why my I don't know about that, Colleen. There were a lot of people who were doing bucket hats, which is probably why the bowl reminded me of a bucket hat. But yeah. So I like that quilt. I really like that pattern. Hey, Lori at Sherlock Sews. How are you? That's the music one. Now, if I can get it free, free motion quilted, I'll have another big project off my list. And I still have to finish the chicken salad, which is it needs to be squared up and the background pieces sewn. But I haven't got my mojo for that one quite yet. I was trying to do something that didn't require quite that much effort today. Yeah, we'll pray for this Lori Miller too, but that's not the one I was asking for prayers for. She's doing good. Her hubby's on vacation, so she's getting to spend some time with him. Lori kept following you last night. I was probably following you too. I just wasn't talking. Like I said, I didn't have the spoons to be able to type. I was just kind of listening. I was enjoying, but just wasn't able to type last night. I tried to lay down about 9 o'clock, ended up taking my more powerful pain meds and still just couldn't get to sleep last night. This little hat's a pretty quick sew. I've been on, what, 45 minutes and I've got everything done. Lori, I didn't know that you were a Tory fan too. That's awesome. Have you got your granddaughter visiting, Marie, or do you watch her daily? I'd be distracted by the granddaughter too. I don't put up pictures of my grandkids, but when they are here, it is so much fun. I have a blast with them. I wish I could see them more. we ever get this pandemic thing up and out of the way, I hope to. With the RA, I'm susceptible to everything. So I just keep taking the vaccines when they tell me to. Go get your booster. Okay. I'm overdue for one right now. Yep, replays are always great. And there's a cool feature on replays if you guys don't know about it. I know that I have, well, according to some people, I have a very thick accent. I don't think so, but you know, your mileage may vary. So if you have a hard time understanding me, there's also a transcript that shows up when the chat shows up that will tell you what I was saying. And I have closed captioning on, I think, but what I'm looking at is the Zoom feed and not the YouTube feed. And closed captioning, for those of you who do it, and I try to have the closed captioning on during live. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. Oh, Marie, that's who you made it for? Like I was just saying, I haven't finished my chicken salad yet, but that just means I haven't finished it yet. I will. I just need to get everything figured it out. I didn't change anything in the top piece, so why? I did make my brim wider. Yeah, Tori, I think she had maybe 6,000 or 7,000 when I started following her. Like I said, I found her when I was looking for how to make men's shirt collars. Her and male pattern baldness or male pattern boldness. I don't know if any of you know who that is. He's a blogger and he has an alter ego named Kathy with a C. And he makes both men's clothes and women's clothes for himself. He's not a drag queen. He is a cross-dresser, I think is the way he described it. But she's basically his alter ego. And he does a very good job of making both men's clothes and women's clothes. But he has a craftsy class that I appreciate, even though, you know, he's wearing 1950s style women clothes because that's his thing. So I was looking at his pattern for how to make a collar, and then somehow Tori popped up, and I've been watching it then. My face was a picture on what? What, when I was trying to find a nice way to say he's a cross-dresser? Hey, Kelly. Well, there's the reason it was a picture probably, Sylvia, is I'm never sure what the proper term is. If it's, you know, because we have friends who are transgender, and then we have friends who, or I have friends who just like dressing in the other sex's clothes, which isn't a big deal if you're a girl, but he looks at you funny. But it's harder if you're a guy who likes to look pretty. And I don't want to come across as being sexist or unfriendly, because I do think that he's a great sewer. And I have a little bit of fullness here that I've got to ease in. Hello, Miss Kelly. I have not made it to watch the camping video yet, but it is on my list. Yeah, I was trying to find a way to, I wanted to make sure I used the proper terminology. Not looking to accidentally offend anyone. That's not on my bucket list of things to do. If I'm going to offend you, by golly, I'm going to do it on purpose and in my own doggone name.
And in your face.
Yeah, and in your face. I'll be the one doing it. You'll know it's me. You won't have to wonder. I'm that person. My mom used to say I was mean, and I was like, no, I'm not mean. I'm just straight up. All right. My inner piece has more fabric to it than my outer piece. He, Sylvia, was he mentally ill, or was he just really happy to be alive? There's a difference. Dancing around the fields in your dress might be. Exactly, Kelly. Exactly. There was a girl where we used to go sing karaoke, and she was going around telling people I was talking about her behind her back. And I was like, really? What am I supposedly saying? You know, and the person who had come to me was like, oh, well, you called her, you said she was such and such and so and so. And I said, oh, no. I said, that's not harsh enough. So the next time I saw her, I walked up to her and I said, listen, I said, I hear that I have been talking about you behind your back. Well, yes, you have. I said, well, then let me make this absolutely clear to you. This is me insulting you to your face. And I looked at her and said, you are a dumpster slut. I said, now, if you don't understand that, I said, you may need to go rethink yourself. But no, she was in no doubt after that that I didn't like her and that I had said my piece. I was just, don't accuse me. I will do it to your face myself. I'm not going to lie in wait for somebody and trip them or anything like that. I'm just going to say what I think. And if that makes folks mad, I'm sorry. What? Kim? I thought he was there today to sand and paint. Isn't that what he was supposed to be doing, Kim? Oh my. There was a little more to that, Sherlock, but can't say all of it on YouTube. But I'm not shy. Not shy at all. Especially when you start messing with my friends. He was a few sandwiches short of a picnic. That used to be my ex-husband's favorite insult for people. I broke him of it though. He said it to the daughter of a lady at our church when we used to go to church. And he told her, he says, your mom's a few sandwiches shy of a picnic. And she was kind of shocked because her mother was a well-respected lady. And a couple of days later, I guess that the daughter thought on it for a while, and she called me and she said, your husband is a moron. And it wasn't Wayne, it was my ex-husband. Your husband said blah, blah, blah about my mom. And as soon as she said it, I was like, yep, he said that, and I apologize. because there's nothing else you can do except apologize in that situation. I said, I'm so sorry. And do you want me to, kill him or just beat him up a little bit? And then she started laughing. She said, well, you at least tell him not to talk about my mom like that anymore. I said, we can do that. So when he came home that night, I was like, did you really say Mrs. So-and-so was a few sandwiches shy of a picnic? Well, yeah. I said, maybe you could refrain from that from now on. I was just like, oh my goodness. And I knew that he had said it as soon as she told me that. All right, so I pinned the in and the out together, and I'm going to sew around and leave an opening so that I can turn it out. And I did put interfacing in mine. And I do remember that Tiffany said last night, if you interface it, you probably want to leave a bigger opening. So I'm going to leave myself a bigger opening. And like I said, she did a great tutorial. I'm literally just imitating. There's nothing I could say about making this bucket hat that would make it any clearer for you than Tiffany's did. I really liked the fact that she had her daughter on with her to sew, because there was an actual beginner. I'm assuming her daughter's a beginner. I may be wrong. But there was an actual newer sewer there. So you could see how well a newer person would follow the instructions. I'm not a new sewer, but I thought that that was interesting. And it gave you another perspective for what are the things that somebody might miss when they were doing this. Like, she needs my approval. She doesn't. I just thought it was interesting. It's not even renovation. It's fixing a hole that they made in her closet. I'm so mad at them because they have drugged this out. I mean, for weeks. Poor Miss Kim is just over there trying to get her little house put back together and everything, and they just keep messing it up. Makes me want to scream. Like I said, I get madder for my friends than I do for myself. All right. Do you guys see that? I got me a hole, a ventilation hole in the roof of my hat. I need to go up there and sew it. Let me fix that while I'm fixing it. I have no clue what I did that for, but let's fix it. All right. Yeah, she and her daughter both did a really great job. Yeah, okay, Sylvia. It was a little crazy. A little short of a picnic. Yeah, I will link back to Tiffany's live. I don't have a problem with that. The pattern actually came from applegreencottage.com, and Tiffany linked them in her video. So when I put together the description box after for this one, but when I do the description box for this one, I'll link both Tiffany's video and that. Not that Tiffany needs links from me, but you're right. Since Tiffany did such a good job of explaining it to her daughter, yeah, that would only be right. And like I said, I'm imitating. I was wanting to make one, and after she made one last night, I was like, let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm working on pulling, well, I'm working on putting my edges together, rolling them together. A la Chitty. She's gonna say, girl, I didn't say you could say my name a million times in your video. Sorry, Tiffany, if you watch. Like I said, I like the hats that she and her daughter made. And her daughter's name, I remember only because Amazon sells them, is Alexa. And Alexa did a very good job. You need one grommet from the pack. Oh no, Kelly, that's actually, I know it wasn't a criticism, but it's actually a very good content creator tip. I appreciate that. I'm not offended. You offered the information up as this is what I do. I do that a lot. I think it's great. And yeah, it's a good reminder because I do want to do that. I'm not looking to take credit or glory away from anybody else. Especially not on this, because like I said, Tiffany did an amazing job of explaining this, both for her daughter and for us. So you're going to deliberately put air vent holes in your story. It probably is a good idea. I have grommets and I have a hole cutter. I could do that. All right, let me give this some iron, some heat love, as Ms. Branda says. That is Brandy at 100 Proof says that, right? If you want to look oh, I remember those from the 70s, Kelly. My Aunt Susan got married in the mid 70s. And I remember those big summer bucket, or not bucket hats, those big summer wide brimmed hats that they made. Mine's probably going to take a little more finessing than Tiffany's did. One, because I used interfacing, and two, because I'm just not as nimble fingered. And I actually will probably lose this hat. Hubby doesn't care what he wears as long as it's something bright. He won't wear pink. Oh, yes, you will rock it. Where are you going in the Caribbean? Or is that classified information, Kelly? If you don't want to tell, you don't have to. I'm all big on, it's yours. You don't have to tell it if you don't want to. I'm not really a traveling person. Oh, yeah, it was definitely a thing at the time, wasn't it? My Aunt Susan got married, and her maiden name was Tate, and that was the same summer that Charles Manson did him and his followers murdered those people. And one of the ladies that got killed was the same last name. I think she might have been Susan Tate also. Anyway, when I heard about it, as a kid, because I was 10 or 11. Aw. Kim, you're just adorable. She is. For those of you who haven't seen Kim, she is just an adorable gal. I can see why he took his cowboy hat off and plopped it on your head. I hope you do realize that meant you were his. You were branded and marked. I am not a hat person either, really. I own a hat. I wore it to a few concerts. I always see the little ladies wearing their, 50s and 60s church hats. And I think, oh, that was so cute. But I've never been a hat person. And I don't see the reason to have a hat on if it's not doing anything for you. I also am envious of those ladies who can rock veils. The ones who, look like the mysterious femme fatales in the film noir stuff. I always wanted to be able to pull that off, but that's not my style either. I'm pretty much a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. I'm top stitching around the edge of my brim just to get it to all lay down. Yeah, the queen does look cute in her hat. And whoever is molding Catherine to be the next queen is doing a really good job. But it's like that girl was groomed from birth. Colleen, I don't think I have to resort to those extremes. I have a feeling people will show up at my funeral just to make sure I'm dead. And I've gone to a few myself for exactly the same purpose. Okay, so I didn't know y'all were getting such a great view of my torso. So, little flare for my hat. What do you think? No? You don't think so? It's the green out, but it does fit my head. I made the extra large, Marie. And I actually gave myself, I don't think, since it's a free pattern, I don't think there's any reason I can't show you this. This is the brim here, and this is the pattern. And I actually gave myself an inch more, maybe an inch and a half along the edge of the brim piece. But so that it comes down to about an inch. And Marie, it's not tight. I probably could use another half an inch maybe. But I do like it. I do plan on sewing the brim like Tiffany did. And I did add SF 101 to the back of the outside fabric to give it a little more stability. These would be great rain hats too. Not sure you can read that. When you look at the pattern, it just says baby, child, teen, adult, and adult extra large. And you're right, on the pattern itself, it does tell you like 21 to 28 inches. Yeah, I like the idea of quilting the brim. I also liked what Tiffany did, where she went around the seam here and sewed like on either side of the seam to make that stay together. We did the same on the crown of the hat. So I may do that. I won't do that on camera because I've been on an hour plus already. But yeah, I like that. And you may see right here, my camera is not as good as Tiffany's. I have a little pucker right here, but I'm not upset about that. That actually, I think, adds to the charm of the hat. Yeah, SF 101 is what I used, Lori. And the reason I used SF 101 is because I have bolts. I actually thought about maybe embroidering something on the brim of the hat before I start putting it together. If I did, I would embroider my name. Yeah, the pattern actually says that it runs large, but it doesn't. I don't think. I think it runs small. So I was tempted to make all of the, because see, like here's the, this is the circle for a baby head, and this is extra large. I really think that if I make it again, I may take and tape another piece of paper and add another 1/4 to 1/2 inch around the outside of that. Because Wayne likes to wear his hats literally pulled down, you know, like that. And most of the fishermen down here do the same. I wanted the wider brim because it's always the sun that gets me. So, but I think it came out kind of cute. I like the green. Oh, Marie, I made a bucket hat, but it's not a big deal. I made the same pattern that Tiffany made last night on her live. Yeah, I was just saying that, Marie, I think this pattern runs small, even though this is applegreencottage.com. I think this one runs small, even though they say it runs large on there. Yeah, that's a black and red and yellow. I think it's a Lori Holt fabric. And then I had some green, kind of green, grungy looking. So, and I didn't do a tutorial. I just made it while I was chit-chatting with people, something to keep my hands busy. And I made my brim. I went out about 1.5 inches wider than the brim calls for, just so you know, if you decide you want to make one. And once the video goes back up on YouTube from the chat, then I will go ahead and put the link to Tiffany's video. Yeah. Okay, so you've already got the pattern, and I'll put the link to the pattern in the description. But Kelly's Cruises suggested that I might want to put the link to the original creator's video. Well, I don't know about the original creator. I did 1/4 inch, Murray. I'm a quilter from way back. So 1/4 inch it is for me. Yeah, glow in the dark would be cute. Tracy's got a moda pattern. Yeah. Tracy, if Sylvia would, she could even put a copy of, especially if it's a free one, she could put a copy of that in the chat, or Colleen, either one of them. But see, Marie, here's mine. Trying to see if I can make it fashionable. Yeah, I just did a 1/4 inch because that's what I'm used to doing. You got it free from is it a downloadable pattern, Tracy? Do you know? Oh, I have to remind myself that there's 3/8 and 5/8 inch seam allowances. If I make bags, I have to literally put it on a Post-it note and put it on the front of the machine. Otherwise, I'm going back to that default 1/4 inch. And the other reason I made the hat, Marie, is because I had to do something that didn't require lots of effort for my shoulder. Yeah, I cannot do 3/8. I can remember 5/8 if I'm doing clothes. But if I'm doing bags, I have a really hard time with it. But it wasn't too bad. I started cutting it out. Awesome, Colleen. That's the one I made though. But I started cutting it like right before the live, maybe 15 or 20 minutes. And I didn't hurry. I cut out the interfacing separately and then I ironed the interfacing on. And then I started sewing after I started the live. And now I've got my adorable little hat that I can wear when I decide to cross dress and go dance in the fields like Sylvia's neighbor. Is Summer Stars a quilt pattern or is it a cross stitch? She is fast, Sylvia. That would be great, Tracy. And then I'll make sure that I can find it, that I can get permission to share it, because if it was a free pattern, it should be free. Marie, yeah. Yeah, she's really fast at this. Marie Scrappy Creations. Yeah, I think a scrappy hat would be really cute. And I think it would probably be really cute if you did it the same way Sylvia just did her jacket. Sylvia made a patchwork jacket and she just made patchwork and then attached it to batting. And then she took her jacket pattern and laid it on the patchwork and cut out her pieces that way. You could do something like that for a hat. I would think you would probably only want to do like one layer of it with batting or with a stiffer interfacing. You might not even want batting. Vroom, vroom. Yes, Colleen is fast at getting links. She's not fast otherwise. So her husband says. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I've kept you an hour and a half. I'm hoping you guys all were lovely and gave me stars or thumbs up or whatever. There is a video on Sylvia's YouTube for her jacket. Did all my mods share their sites? And Colleen, would you share Marie's just in case anybody here doesn't know Marie's Scrappy Creations? If you don't mind, please. And Kelly. You probably already have shared Kelly's.
Yeah, give her the $2. Delivery EMR.
Yeah, I made the biggest hat because I was afraid it would be too small, Marie. Okay, Kelly, you have a great day. Yeah, scraps with interfacing would be great. I have a whole bag of scraps that specifically have interfacing on it. Yeah, Marie H. There's Marie's Scrappy Creations. Always trying to add some subscribers to all of us. Some subscribers are going to stick, not go in and out like it's a swinging door. All right, and me and my hat are gonna go back to the sewing machine. Ooh, I kind of like that little roll up around the back there. Yeah, I'm trying to give the bot and Kim and Colleen enough time to put all the links in for you guys. So if you don't know somebody's channel, you can definitely go visit. Oh, that's fine, Marie. I am not upset at all. Stir, it was a great chat. I appreciate you being here. And once again, thank you very much for the link to the arthritis mitts. They were handy for me and handy for everybody else. Yeah, I may actually have to put a picture of myself up wearing my new funky hat. All right, guys, y'all have a great day. I love you guys, and I definitely appreciate you. Bye. Stay out of trouble. Or